Hello, everyone. We are here. We are here. We are here. My name is Steven.
And I am Candace, and we are Arcana Mind, Body, Spirit, located in Toronto, Canada. And tonight we are celebrating New Moon in Aquarius.
Oh my gosh, can you believe we're already having new moons of 2022 now? Like, this is wild, wild. If this is your first time joining Arcana Mind, Body, Spirit, we want to say welcome. I want to say a big welcome to, is it Rosalie? Hello, Rosalie. Hi. I always love when I love when a new friend is always here. And I can also see we have a lot of people here from, God, what time is it in Australia right now? Hello, down under. Yeah, nice to see you guys. Yeah, right? Excellent. Well, I'm glad you guys are all here joining us. It's always nice to have people joining our family. If this is your first time joining Arcana Mind, Body, Spirit, we are an inclusive community that is focused on self-development using holistic principles and metaphysical practices in order to move us forward into our highest timelines and our most optimal good. And if this is your first new moon, tonight is going to be special for you. New moon is time. Hello, Janet. Hello, Janet. Nice to have you here. Hello, hello.
Hey, that's family. How's it going? Yay.
Hello, family. Your family is my family, darling. Excellent. So this is your first new moon. We are going to be setting intentions tonight. Now, we have 13 chances to set intentions all year long. And every 28 days, Candace and I go live with all of you, and we write down what we are hoping to achieve. Now, the thing that is special about setting intentions like this, hello, Julie.
Hi, cousins.
Candace's family's in the house today. Hello.
Eternal family is showing up for New Moon.
Love it. That's amazing. So yeah, we set intentions, and every different 28-day cycle has a different energy that we want to focus and harness on. So tonight, Candace is going to dive in a lot with what Aquarius energy means. But before we get to that, we are celebrating all kinds of things tonight. There are literal holidays all over the world. We want to say Happy Chinese New Year. There's a lot of you out there celebrating that. It is Water Tiger Year, right? I know, I'm feeling it. Water Tiger is a great one for, they say it's the calmest of the tigers, but it's the most prosperous and the most nurturing. So this has the makings of a really gorgeous, gorgeous year this year. Of course, please, if you can, make sure you hit that like, that subscribe button down below. It's always important to make sure that you can come on back throughout the year, because we do this, like I said, every 2 weeks, because we also do full moon as well. And then if you head on over to our YouTube channel, we have all kinds of things there. Of course, if you head on over to our webpage, we have all kinds of different services available to you. We have spiritual life path coaching. We have energy work that we do. We have astrology and natal chart discovery journeys. We do virtual tarot. So there is something for all of you. All right. So Candace, how are you feeling with all of this energy, especially with the tiger, and of course, sister, happy Imbolc. We are fresh out of the tales of Imbolc. Yeah. So tell me, how you feeling?
Yeah, you know what? I'm feeling good. I feel that like the week leading up to this point, there was a lot of feelings going on, but I'm really feeling like a lot of things are coming to a head for me, and this time it's internal. So I feel like, you know, if anyone out there has been actually really following, you would have known that the last little while I was like, I want tangible things. I want to grab onto my manifesting heads, and I want to feel it, and I want to feel all the things, and I want to do it. Right. So definitely feeling some major shifts of internal things going on.
Yeah.
And I know Stephen and I, we spoke about what element we're going to be focusing on for this upcoming cycle for us. And I will let it be known that I will be working with water this year. So
your water dragon water tiger is super good for you this year.
Yep, diving right on into all that good stuff. So
That is some work. That is some good work there.
And what about you, Stephen? How are you feeling with all like Imbolc, New Moon,
I
Chinese New
mean,
Year?
you know this because we have been sitting in circle together for so many years now, but you know how much I love Imbolc. It just makes me so happy this time of year because for those of you who have never really celebrated Imbolc, this is the time of year when we meditate a lot and we listen to what is coming forward for us, what our intuition is telling us, and we try not to sit there and say, my intention is exactly this. That's not what Imbolc is about. It's about listening to yourself and listening to your body tempo a little bit more and seeing what comes through. So Candice and I celebrated last night and we had some amazing things come through, I think. So yeah, lots of good root system healing, I think, took place. Yeah. A lot of good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So please, guys, leave a comment if you're here, if you're watching. How are you feeling right now? Because honestly, with Aquarius energy, it can be a little bit unpredictable based on what your natal chart looks like. Sometimes the expansiveness can cause a lot of confusion. And after Candice is going to give us a little talk about Aquarius here, but there's also a lot of other energy taking place. We have some planets that are changing from retrograde back to direct, so things can feel a little bit confusing now. So why don't we just start by diving in? Candice, tell us about Aquarius.
All right, so another moon cycle and good old Aquarius. So Aquarius energy is concerned, like if you think about Aquarius, like if you read anything about the zodiac in itself, it's concerned with social justice, standing out from the crowd, right? Aquarius energy really holds power in uniqueness and feelings of or energy of being deeply independent. So think about anyone that you know as an Aquarius. I wonder if it matches. I'm going to say that it does, and if not, I want to see their full chart.
Right.
Sometimes Aquarius can have a touch of arrogance within that energy, right? So again, those who fall under that zodiac, they can give like some of the best advice, right? They're awesome at like brainstorming and coming up with fantastic ideas and like things that maybe you're like, oh, I didn't even think of it that way. I wouldn't have even thought of it that way. It's like so out there. And sometimes that can help with their inability to follow through all the time with that or like finish things because it's just like all these thoughts like grabbing onto the next thing and like, oh, that's not fair. Do this. This is great. You know, and like having all this thoughts and energy, right? It's an air sign. So thoughts and thinking and all that comes into play. So considering that, it makes sense that Aquarius has been known to not be the most emotionally evolved, and therefore you might notice a struggle with expressing yourself in terms of emotions right now, right? So like Aquarius is, again, it's like logic, sense, practicality, right? And I know, Stephen, you're going to talk about this a little bit later. Saturn is also in conjunct with the moon and the sun right now. And Saturn's all about structure and order. So that kind of makes sense too with that very logic, sense, and practicality feelings that you might be having and the kind of confusion around emotional expression. So I would say in this moment, within this particular energy, it might be a good idea to think and plan and zero in on what you want now versus jumping into anything that has to do with the heart or things that have to do with your emotions, right? So not just like romantic relationships, but like anything. Is there a conversation that you think you need to have at work that makes you kind of emotional and you think about it, right? Like instead of just going to work and being like, okay, I'm just going to do this. Maybe right now you're going to think about it, you're going to picture it, you're going to be logical about it, come up with different ideas, different outcomes before you just jump on into anything that has to do with the emotional plane of your life, right? So plan it and be sensible and logical now. Because Pisces season is just around the corner, and therefore you'll have plenty of time to feel every goddamn feeling and fantasy inside your little self, okay? And I say that with complete love because I'm a Pisces rising and I have plenty of Pisces and water in me. So all love, but truly, let's stay logical for this cycle, for this part. And you just jump into fantasy and emotions in a little bit. A few more things. Aquarius energy is also fueled in wanting to be unique, right? So they're super independent, but also want to be really unique. So there's opportunity here for a big shift or change, right? Maybe you're actually already in that big change or shift. Either way, assess and think about what fears you might have, what makes the situation different, and how at the end of it things will be different, right? So try to picture it and create the image and really get into your head a little bit more about these things, right? Things and like in general, like sure, you're like, sure, Candace, yeah, of course, that makes sense. That's logical. Aquarius, you. Anyways, but things in life, they always change, right? So, but I think the point is right now is that you're trying to be aware and in connection with it, right? Remaining open and in acceptance. So be aware of the growth within yourself, I think is the most important thing when focusing in. New moon, we're making intentions. So those are the things you want to think about when you're making your intentions, right? So like new moon, again, in case anyone doesn't know, new moons happen when the earth becomes in line with the sun, making it pretty much invisible to us, right? So I always think of this time as in the lunar cycle as a chance for a clean slate, right? So again, using that Aquarian vibes and aligning into your intentions for the cycle, consider the way you go about it. How can you reach these manifestations authentically, right? Being uniquely yourself. Will you be tested because change is freaking hard, and therefore you might be feeling a bit bitter towards this Aquarian energy, and I'm looking at you, fixed signs. Or will it be like kind of sweet because change and adapting to change and welcoming change is kind of awesome, right? So all that said, I've learned this time and time again myself. You learn what you can do and what you're made of when you step out of your comfort zone. And I think that is a big thing to keep in mind for this Aquarian energy, right? As far as a ritual on a new moon, I personally like to gather my thoughts and think about the plan and the steps I need to take to bring me closer to reaching goals. And following through on whatever my plans are. This is why Stephen and I, we always write out things that we want to manifest, right? Which we will be doing in some time. So get your book.
Get your notebooks ready, friends.
Right. It's a great time for, it's also a really good time for affirmations and stepping into your power. Right? Remember, this is a clean slate, right? So this is your opportunity to become fresh with it. I personally think the more empowered I'm feeling, the better I feel about telling the universe what I want and writing out my goals, right? It feels like there's more conviction, and it's easier for me to envision myself having reached my goals a lot easier when I feel empowered. But I mean, everyone's different. So Stephen, what about you? Do you feel the same? Or, is there do you feel like there's maybe more power in like some of those darkest moments where you're like yelling at the universe for your manifestations?
I feel like you're talking directly to me with all of this energy right now. I feel like I'm directly in line with all of this fierce universal energy right now. I've definitely had some of these dark moments of screaming into the like black of the sky, those moments where you really know you're in the cauldron. I feel like I've really experienced some of that over the last little while. And I do have to say that in being there, I have been able to manifest all kinds of incredible things in the last little while, like mind-blowing things, which we can't wait to share with you, but, can't rip off that Band-Aid just yet, friends. But there's very exciting things coming our way, and again, the blackest moments where you're like under the soil, you're still just a seed waiting to break the surface, and especially with this Aquarian like huge expansive energy. Imagine you're literally feeling that like Capricorn earth around you, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and you're just out into the open air, and there's vistas everywhere. That is what this time of year should feel like, and let me tell you, it feels that way for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Do you feel
awesome.
in line with it as well?
Yeah, I feel in line. I feel like right now I'm kind of in a weird place because everything that I was really, really asking for, I like got.
Yeah.
And it's all really just in line and comfortable in a good way, in a place where there's still much to be learned in these spaces. I'm not just like, with my feet up, like I'm done. I've accomplished everything.
The integration period now, right?
Yeah, not even close, but like it's there's no major like hurt and pain. So I mean, there's no direct like working from it. I'm not like falling apart like your favorite season of me.
It's my
And
favorite season of you. I can't wait till eclipse season 2022. I like just get popcorn and watch you like this. Like, so good.
yeah, so I'm kind of like, okay, and I'm here, and I just, but at this, that said, like I was saying, I've had a lot of really like deep moments of shift that were super internal that I wasn't even really expecting. That I kind of thought, oh, I was done with this, and it's like, oh no, and now I'm like looking at it and dealing with stuff that I was really struggling with a long time ago, and I'm looking at it through a whole new lens, and it's just all very calm. I'm like, my waters are very, very calm and very nice. Like it's not eerie. It's just actually quite nice.
I love this for you.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It's interesting.
Well, there is a lot of other energy taking place out there right now that is influencing. So please comment in the feed. Let us know how you're feeling with all of this energy. Do you relate to some of this Aquarius information about what we're doing? And again, please grab your notebooks. Another thing that you can do is also grab a few little herbs and things from around the house. If you have any mint, any sage, any mugwort, any thyme, there's a few different things that you can grab from your cupboard, or just anything that feels really in line for you. Even if you just grab seeds, that's very in line with Imbolc and that energy. So grab some of that. Okay, Candace, should I move on to some of the planetary stuff going on?
Sure. If people are grabbing some things, I feel there are things that I grabbed, like colors for Aquarius. You're looking at violets and blues, blue and purpley kind of hues. So if you have any crystals that correspond with that as well, I have some lapis lazuli with me right here.
Me too.
Oh, nice. And I also just have, I felt inclined to pull out my broom.
Oh, nice.
So I just kind of feel like I need to clean off
a little energy sweep.
Yeah, it's very fiery, so I balanced it by bringing out some air.
Nice.
But also, if anyone wants to work with any symbols, like major arcanas, the star is the major arcana for Aquarius, and of course the minor arcana are the swords. Again, if you have any feathers, peacock feather or an eagle feather is representative of Aquarius, so you can use that, meditate with it, touch yourself with it. This isn't a peacock feather, but hey, it's air symbol. So
yeah,
sometimes you just gotta work with what you got. So
yeah,
there you go.
You don't have a peacock in your kitchen? You can just hoist a feather. No,
right?
I'm peacock enough in your life, darling.
Oh yeah, babe. I don't need much more. In February, so here we go.
No
racer stripes and mesh.
Casual winter garb. Casual winter garb. All right, so let's talk about some of the energy. So as of Saturday this weekend, I guess maybe Sunday for some of our Australia viewers out there, oi. Venus has turned direct. I know a lot of you out there have really been waiting and hoping for Venus to get out of retrograde. Often when Venus is in retrograde, this is all about your relationships and how you relate to people. It can be how you love. Often partnerships sort of feel like they're at a dissonance with each other, not really being able to communicate in the same way. So often once things turn back direct, you should ask yourself if there was any relationships that like even old friendships. Have you found closure somewhere? Do you have to make some phone calls and clear something up based on what has been happening in your life? Even coworkers, is it time to like uh, build a different sort of relationship, upgrade that somehow? And look at yourself. What were you doing to contribute to some of the behaviors that were taking place in your relationships, in how you're relating, maybe in your love life? This is all the things that come to the forefront right now. And what's interesting is in the sign of Capricorn, it also wants people to choose how they show up. Right? So, how do you show up in that relationship? Can you be counted on? That is a lot of the energy right now. So, make those thoughts there. Um, Also, let's talk about the planets that are taking place in Aquarius, because right now the moon is conjunct with Saturn, like Candace was saying. And because of that, our intentions have a little bit more responsibility to them. Often I like to think of Saturn as like that grandparent energy, giving you like that wise, more strict, maybe a little more rigid, but there's probably some medicine there. That's often what I like to think of Saturn as. So if you're just going to be setting intentions today, are you doing them like, is there any part of you that needs to have that little pragmatic part of you? Like, what responsibility does your expansive intention entail? Okay. The other thing is the moon is actually making a square with Uranus. So depending if you know astrology, this adds a lot of unpredictability. So if you are unclear of what your intentions are right now, this could be a whole cycle that'll just pass you by. Right? If you just sort of not necessarily worry about what's going on or even think about what's in your best interest, this whole cycle could just pass you by and all of a sudden you'll be in Pisces season dreaming. Okay, so it's pretty important to think about all that as you move forward, because we also have one other planet that is finally going direct again, which everyone should be cheering about, because Mercury is going direct and it's in Capricorn. So this is all super good. Okay, so if you don't know what retrograde means, retrograde is when planets appear to be spinning backwards. Okay, and often this energy ends up feeling, some people say it slows down the energy of that planet, other people say it's shadow time for that planet. Often I think the best medicine when it comes to retrograde is, instead of thinking about when it's direct, it's going into the world, I think it's time to look within. It's time to do that medicine inside yourself. So usually when Mercury goes direct, there's all jokes about how like flights get canceled and it's not a good time to do business and communication sucks and phone calls drop and everyone's internet falls out and all that stuff, right? Right, Candace? When
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, so Mercury is going direct. And then what's super cool about it is that, again, it's in Capricorn. Capricorn means business, right? Capricorn's like, let's go, right? If you're thinking about doing something, it's time to do it. So use that wisdom of Sea Goat and let them move forward. I always think it's interesting that sea goat, water bear, like there's all these signs that are super connected with water, even though they're not water signs. And yet we're in a water tiger year. Like, I think there's a lot of water to be happening. So I think you chose wisely doing the water work this year, my dear. I love it.
It all just lines up, you know what I mean?
Right.
I tried to fight it. I tried to fight it last night in circle. I was like, I just want to focus on fire. I just want to like be all fiery, just be me, be like, no, okay, water it is.
Yeah. Also, one more thing I want to point out is this is an Angel FO symbol, and the hourglass is a very important thing for this time of year. Okay, this is a big sign for in-bulk energy and everything. So I always like to have my hourglass out and about during out and about. I can see all of my American friends commenting on this side about our outs and our sorries and all of those words. Thank you for listening, friends. But yeah, if you ever have any meditation and you're working on hourglass, this is a sign for emergence, okay? Because it's sort of as above, so below. Hourglasses are super important, okay? So, we have a question here from Janet. Let's see. Do you need to be a Capricorn to feel that Capricorn energy? I'm an Aries. Absolutely not. We are all feeling it.
I'm an Aries too, Janet. Where 2 Boytons and an air, and both Aries.
Yeah, no, all of these energies are around us all the time, but depending on what your astrological profile looks like, you can have you can be more susceptible to the energy or less, depending. So I'm an air sign, and Candace is a fire sign. So there are often times of the year where we have very different energies and experience them very differently. Whereas I have a fire moon, and Candace is fire, we may experience things very similarly. So it all comes down to your entire makeup of your chart. We always recommend that if you're interested in hearing more, book us for a chart reading, because there's so much information that you can see about that.
Yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, looking at things like if you're a fixed sign, right? If there's an energy that's about a lot of change, fixed signs are, like a Taurus, for example,
Do we know some of those?
Being forced to change is not always the favorite option
Right.
for a Taurus, right? They're like more set in their ways. So there's different things that can come up for different people, and there's a lot of information just even online looking that up. But absolutely, no matter what sign you are, you're going to be feeling it in one way or another. And then you can use that energy in a different way that's focused for yourself as well, right?
Yes. Very well said, darling. Okay, why don't we move into some gratitude work here? Everyone, it's time to get out our journals, please. It is time to get out your journals. If you don't have a journal, grab a paper. Please, Candace, demonstrate what our...
Look how thick this is with all kinds of things. Also, it smells so good. And it's literally bordering on just being soaked with oil.
Especially after last night, right? We have so many oils in here. It is crazy.
And just things falling out of it.
So delicious. Oh, we have another question here. Rosalie is asking, is Cancer a fixed sign? Cancer is a cardinal sign. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, Cancer is a cardinal sign. We actually have some videos coming out where we're talking about the different modalities on Arcana Mind Body Spirits YouTube channel. So I think we have that scheduled for a little bit later in the year, but there's going to be a lot of information on that. Basically, there's different modalities. We have cardinal, we have fixed, and we have mutable. Yeah. And they always say cardinal signs are the people who initiate. Those are the people who start the energy of the season. We have fixed signs who are right in the middle of the seasons, which mean that they are stubborn and they are the hardest to change. And then we have the mutable signs, which are people at the end of the time, and they're like the people who help change and grow and add flow and initiate the next section. So yeah, that's basically how that works. So Cancer was a cardinal sign.
Yes, and if you go on our YouTube channel and you find your the video for your sign, because we do have them up. We have Cancer. If you go on there, we do talk about which ones are fixed and cardinal and mutable and stuff. So you can find that information for your sign. Yay!
Thanks for asking. All right, so let's open up to a page. If you don't have a journal, that is A-okay. It's also important to recognize that this is the third moon. There was a lot of moons that were taking place over the last month, and there's a lot of moon work going on here. So recognize, because there's a lot. Our new moon in Capricorn was wild a month ago. And Candace, before we get to gratitude, why don't we just talk about what we were doing last month and how our work went with our new moon in Capricorn 28 days ago.
Oh my gosh. I would say, I've been pretty steady on working on the same things, but I think it was mostly my goals and the things that I was focusing on had to do with not getting caught up in my head, not getting caught up in my thoughts and old stories. I feel like because I just had a pretty significant change, and started a new job and ran new people, new responsibilities, new changes, and especially coming out of being, in quarantine and home, and just very different. So there's a lot of different things. And so I think the last few rounds of my manifestations that I was working toward were just really being like present in my head and kinder to myself internally in the way that I'm thinking and moving, and yeah, just being aware of that.
That's good. How do you feel you did with it?
I think I did. Okay. I think I did pretty good. It wasn't like I stopped doing the things that you wish you didn't do. It doesn't work that quickly.
It's work.
Not always, anyways, but not without a lesson. So I feel like the end of the last cycle was where I was talking about how I felt like a shift. So things kind of made sense. Things kind of came into like a clearer picture. And when I look back now, as we talk about it, I recognize the fact that things were happening, and I, instead of being reactive, was kind of just aware and sitting with it and noticing it. And then when I was like, wow, this is kind of a lot. Like, what is this? And I wasn't able to talk myself out of it. I was able to know, okay, I'm going to make a call and I'm going to reach out to supports and, call your therapist up and have a conversation. And then it's like, thank you. I'm
back
not
on track.
a psychosis. I am not a sociopath. I am not any other crazy, crazy is not the best word to use, but any kind of like wild diagnosis I could give myself. Because I couldn't get a hold of these thoughts that were like so loud. So that really helped, and the shift came. And so although again, it didn't look like what I thought it was going to look like, but I got there. And that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
And you?
Oh, my intentions last month were very personal month. Very introspective might be the word. But my intention was very simple, to just like wake up and like listen to myself and honor what I was feeling, which can sound very airy fairy as an air sign, just wake up and feel, but it was from a very grounded place. I was just like, if I needed to, felt called to like eat something or take a long bath or leave work early, or like, it was really about self-care a lot last month. And it was just about listening, because I had a lot of things that I wanted to achieve. A lot of things I really wanted to achieve, but I couldn't do them unless things were in flow state. And I think I did a great job, because once I sort of found, like later in the second half after full moon, when I started like integrating some of that, man, oh man, I feel like my doors blew open this month in such an exciting way. So that's really going to weigh heavy into what I'm going to do this next month. So I'm excited for it. Yeah. All right. So everyone, do you have a piece of paper available? Any form of paper, really? All right, we are going to take a moment and we're going to write down what we are grateful for, okay? Just work on, we always want to say thank you before we say please. That is just a rule in any metaphysical community, really, right? So let's take a moment and really think about it. Make a nice list. Even if sometimes people like writing full sentences, diagram it, whatever your version of art is, do it now. All right, we'll give you 2 minutes.
All right.
When the world was ending, I'd hold you in my arms, and we talked about the places we'd never been. When the world was ending, we'd hold on to the past, 'cause it's all we thought that we would ever see. But then the sun came right back, and the birds sang as if nothing had happened. And it's alright, it's okay. We will get another day to begin again, to begin again, to begin again. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I know that I will try to begin again, to begin again, to begin to live and love and breathe again. When the world was ending, we looked up at the sky and we talked about the last song that we played. So far from comprehending, they lift us to the stars. Never seen each other from so far away. But then the sun came right back, and the kids played as if nothing had happened. And it's alright, it's okay. We will get another day to begin again, to begin again, to begin again. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I know that I will try to begin again, to begin again, to begin to live and love and breathe again. Because I'm happy. Hold my friends like longer flights.
All right, everyone. Start finishing your thoughts now. As we're finishing here, I want everyone to know that if you have a candle in your home, it's always nice to have a candle that is adorned for your moon work. Okay, so if you have something, it's just always the candle that you'll grab. Candace and I have matching ones. We usually use them for a whole year, right? And we keep them here. Now, you will notice that throughout the year, we're going to end up carving signs in them and carving symbols in them. And tonight, we are Aquarius. You'll notice in our picture here, I'm just going to jump back up to one of our what that looks like. So you can carve that right into your candle and draw it all over your notebook. It's always good. And you'll see that Candace and I have these lovely candle carvers. So we're going to draw our Aquarius symbol on the side of our candle now. If you're planning on joining us for all of our moon ceremonies, we recommend you grabbing a candle too so that you can do it with us. If you're joining us again, this is time. There we go. Nice. All right, Candace, what things came up for you for gratitude?
Yeah, so I was kind of just thinking about the things that I'm grateful for, but I just did this weird like mapping stuff out.
Doing like a Venn diagram this time. Oh, Rosalie, hello, my dear.
Yay! Oh, I'm so glad. New road, new beginnings. What a perfect
Oh, I love
time.
that for you. That's amazing.
Yeah, perfect time on a new moon
Perfect.
ceremony to light your open road candle. That's amazing. I'm so glad you love that. So the things that I'm grateful for, and it kind of connects to a bunch of different things. I wrote for the space that I take up and for self-awareness. And within those center thoughts were a lot of things like patience, listening, feeling safe, love, respect, feeling acknowledged, being accepting of myself, and in the spaces that I now occupy. And there was a long time in my life, that like it was really hard to take up space, and it was really hard to take up space from dealing with trauma, dealing with abusive relationships, leaving those things, rebuilding, starting over about a freaking million goddamn times. It felt like, and literally was. And now I'm in a place where it's like I can take up that space, and for the first time, like I mentioned before, it's not a scary thing. Sometimes you get there and you're like, am I waiting for it to fall apart? And instead, I'm just waiting for it to get better. And that is such a new feeling, and it's so fantastic. And so I'm really grateful to be holding space there on my every single day of my life. So that's amazing. And within that, are the people that I'm the most grateful for: my daughter, my partner, his daughter, you, my mother, new friends, and all my old ones, of course, as well. So yeah, that is what I'm grateful for. And Stephen, what is in your book of gratitude here, your list?
I put there was a lot of things that I started writing that I wasn't even sure that that's what I really meant. And by the end of the list, I was sort of writing things about myself that I was kind of proud of. I'm like really grateful for the first sentence that I wrote was I'm really grateful for my discernment as I move through very turbulent airspace. And I thought that was kind of an interesting sentence with like airspace and in Aquarius time and all of that. But with that, there were so many offshoots that came in my support system with you and my boss, my team, some very close people in my life who are just supporting my dreams. And in that, I'm really happy for my boundaries and my conviction to stick within those boundaries. And my discernment of situations, my tenacity to not back down, my dreaming abilities to like not be afraid to adventure and expand. So I guess like I feel like I'm writing a love letter to myself in this month. And when we get to setting intentions, I really didn't think I was going to write that here, but my intentions are going to be around the same thing. So it's interesting how all that kind of appears to you when you're asked to auto write,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So journaling is so great. Journaling, doing short ritual like this, but writing it out, it always
Yeah.
so much out that you weren't expecting, and it really clears the way. It's like kind of like how I feel about talk therapy as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like you don't even really know what you're even going to talk about, and then the next thing you know, you're like crying about something that you didn't even know you remembered, and then you're like, oh my god, I totally get why all these things were happening. What I'm going to do next. It's like, how did I get here? And you just need to let it out.
Yeah. All right. Let's set some intention, shall we?
Let's do it.
If anyone feels brave, please write your gratitude in the feed. What are you grateful for? In stating it out loud, the universe hears you and replies. All right. Write out your intentions. Welcome back, friends. Now, if this is your first time setting intentions, one of the best words of advice we can give you is this. If there's anything that you wrote down that is not written in present tense, go back and change that now. For example, I want to have money. I wish I had money. You're actually operating in a place of scarcity, right? You're telling the universe, I don't have this, right? So you want to operate in a place of abundance, of prosperousness. So I have, it's already arrived. There's a lot of different ways. Even saying words like I intend, it's not quite powerful enough, right? So it's always good. Make it affirmative. So Candace, what are you affirming this season, this cycle?
I release with complete gratitude and appreciation for all that it's done. The wounded protector that I carry still, or it won't be for long. So I release that, right? So that is the intention of. I don't think it's going to happen quickly, but that's the ultimate goal. That's the work. That's the work that's there. Again, it never looks like what it's going to look like every cycle. I have I can say I'll say it in the now, and I will have like this idea of what it's going to be like, and I can sit with my Aquarius thoughts and plans. And let me tell you, it's like it never comes the way that I plan it to come. But that's it. And in doing so, I create space for healthy inner voice and thoughts for myself.
Yeah, I really love how you stated that. If you are going to release something, always state what you are making space for as well. When you release something in order to make space for. So write those words down if you're out there trying to release something. I love that for you, Candace.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta go look back and then you're like, oh wait, I'm not done with that part of my life yet.
Yeah, I thought I was done. Nope, there she is.
Nope. I'm just so glad that I was able to get all these other fantastic things, then realize that and then be empowered enough to go back and actually truly close doors.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what this is about, right? So the first step is creating space for that. So there we go. On I go, right?
I love it. And on we go.
So what about you?
I have 100% Aquarius dreams going on right now. I am ye of expansive nature. And I'm actually going to work with the other side of the wheel in acknowledging that. And I am going to honor myself by slowly and intentionally checking things off my to-do list. Just very like wake up and do what most people would consider mundane, but I'm not going to see it that way. I want to do those things and see how they integrate into my life. And I have more tangible things written down here, what they look like. Like I want to go to the gym and I want to honor why I'm doing that and why my physical health is important to me. And like things like, like taxes and like getting a few other things done. Just like those things that are just on your list and you're like, oh, okay, I'll get to it, whatever. I want to understand why and how and see why they show up in my life and what they do for me. And just have because I kept having this thought come back here. And I don't even know if this sentence makes sense, but it says, ... because cities cannot be built on sand. Right? So I'm trying to really have this structure. And I'm just going to do that for 28 days. And I'm going to live in this expansive Aquarian universe, and every day I will experience the small things with extreme gratitude as I move forward and honor myself in the process and what these things do for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So shall it be.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So shall it be.
All right, so please, if you're listening, write out one of your intentions out there. What intentions are you seeking this cycle? Remember, it's 28 days. So usually the work is going to be done in the first half of the month. And then after the full moon, from the full moon back to the next new moon, that's your integration period, where it goes from doing the work to how does this work fit into my life? What came to be? What didn't? What needs to be released? How do I move it forward? Right? So that is the work of the second half. Okay, time to destroy. So now, if you have any sage, if you have any soil, if you have any seeds, if you have any oils, if you have any kinds of things around you that you feel called to, it is time to dirty up your book. Now, Candace and I'm sure we have all kinds of pages that look like this.
Can't even put my book vertically because it will spill.
It spills right out. Yeah, this page is pretty wild. Oh, it's funny. I just opened up this page and it was the strawberry moon, which was Capricorn Aquarius time. So very cool. I'm going to take some of that juju and I'm going to pop that on over. There we go. Look at all that. And yeah, you'll notice that if you continually do this, man, your book is going to smell amazing. The most amazing. And I've been moving this bay leaf throughout my book here and there this year, which I'm thinking is making a big difference for me.
Ooh, got some our smudge from Imbal.
Nice. I feel like my 28-day cycle right now is in line with the work that we were doing last night, Candace. I feel like honoring myself and listening to myself. I want to have like an entire Imbalky month. You know. And then with your candle, seal it up with a little bit of wax. Put some breath on there. And in time, I too shall grow. Well, just like that, another new moon.
And just like that.
And just like that, I feel like that has a total different connotation these days.
Yeah. I think about that. I just need to smell my little magic sack that I made here that helps me relax.
It's funny. I got out that sack a little, like the red one that we made maybe two Februaries ago. I just saw that yesterday before I was on my way to your place.
Yeah.
What's in yours?
It's just a bunch of things from my garden. Some like different flowers that I grew. I also put some sweetgrass and some white sage and some herbs like some rosemary and different things like that. And there's some shells in here from some important times over the summer in some places where I was, and some essential oils. But yeah, and there's some crystals in here too. Look at that. I didn't even know. And what is this? Holding in the light. But yeah, I literally keep it beside my bed, and when I need to like just bring down my nervous system and just like relax, it just like makes me think of all the things I grew and all the fabulousness of past summer.
A lot of amazing things all year, in fact. So we want to thank all y'all for being here tonight. And if you want to know what this is all about, bam. These are our intention bottles, and we are going to be working with these all year. So if you'd like to head on over to YouTube, we have a video about our Imbolc, and it talks about how to start manifesting your best year ever. All right? Imbolc is such a great ceremony because it tells you what is in your belly, which is all of this. And if you feel like joining in throughout the Wheel of the Year, 6 weeks from now, we're going to be adding a whole other different set of things to this bottle and walking a labyrinth.
This is my favorite one.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Labyrinth of truth there, that's for sure. And then 6 weeks from there, on Beltane, another one of my favorites really, we weave our bracelets and then we wear those for the next 6 months really. So all kinds of good stuff are about to come from these bottles. You are going to see us often talking about these bottles this year. So I'm excited for it. All right, on to another cycle, Candace. This wheel, it just keeps spinning, doesn't it?
Sure does.
All right, so please be sure to check out our videos. We have all kinds of things coming forward about some of our medicine people and healers that we've worked with this year. That's going to be coming out soon. We have our Leo video. We have all different things. Oh, hello. Hello, Brianna. Nice to see you, darling. Happy new moon. Make sure you set those intentions. We have all kinds of things to talk about over the next little while, I'm sure. So... but head on over to Arcana. Again, if you are interested in hearing anything about any of the services that we do have available, everything is on our website. And of course, you can just contact us directly and we can get you all involved with that. Of course, again, my name is Steven.
And I'm Candace.
And we are Arcana, Mind, Body, Spirit. All right. We will see you all in 2 weeks' time for our next full moon ceremony. All right. Good night, everyone. Mwah, ciao.
Ciao.